Good morning. I'm Jonathan Barratt. This 9-minute educational grab on FX is taken from 25 years experience. So hopefully it'll provide an insight for those just looking to trade foreign exchange and also just to try and make it profitable for them. The FX market's been around for a while and you can certainly trade it several ways. But from my experience, it's a challenge, but it's also very rewarding. Primarily the information that everyone's receiving around the world is exactly the same, and we've just got to be a little bit more skillful in how to pick it. I guess the key for trading currencies is whether you adopt a fundamental or a technical perspective. And in my perspective, I think you've got to actually take them both, look at them fundamentally, and then I find that technically it helps me to actually get into a trend, get into a trade. There are a couple of things to note when wanting to trade the currencies. There are several ways to actually trade them. I guess the key one is through margin FX, which is probably the most cost-effective one because the spreads are quite narrow, and that's the interbank market. But you can trade amounts as little as $50,000 on margin, which only requires a 1% deposit. So in some cases you've got close to quite a leveraged position, but you really have to know what you're doing. The other way is trading via the futures markets, and the other way after that, if you are not risk averse, is to trade via options. All can be very successfully put together to come up with a good return if you've chosen the correct direction. Personally, I like to use the combination of margin foreign exchange, which is a leverage type, together with options, both OTC, but both can be traded quite easily and quite quickly, certainly via any one of the platforms. The main platform we use is the Falcon Trader, and I'll just introduce it to you now. We like the Falcon primarily because it offers everything that we need in terms of trading currencies, and things from price alerts through to chat, where we just enter a price that we want. It comes and gives us an email exactly where a market is hit, and if you've got your little BlackBerry up or your iPhone, it comes straight to that, so you know that the market has hit that level. Chat function, where we can chat and we actually send out reports to you, streaming news, and of course you've got your economic calendar on exactly what's happening around the market. I guess on trading currencies, as I mentioned, there's our platform is one that allows you to pretty much trade the spot market, and there we can see that there. That's just the spot market, and you can see the market there offering a bid and an offer quite quickly. Then you can actually trade if you need be to a particular value date, and that in itself is also a forward which you can trade. If you are looking spot and forward, you can actually look via an option as well. So let's just close that down. And also the option board, which I do enjoy because it is one of the most advanced at the moment out there, and that certainly allows us to create an option strategy, and it's just starting to populate at the moment. But you can roll through your strikes here, both your puts and your calls for that Aussie, and it's very quickly to be able to buy and sell it. It's actually quite a unique system that we do run on foreign exchange on the trader. The other important thing is that with our particular trader, you can have a desktop application, a web application, and also on your mobile. So you can actually trade via your mobile, not just foreign exchange, but also a lot of our other asset classes. Okay, well let's get into it now. And on the currencies, I guess the one we're all used to is in fact the Aussie, because that's obviously where a lot of us we're used to it. And one of the tips that I always find are helpful is that start off with the day chart. Try and build a little bit of a scenario and a picture here. What I do like to do is pick the range. Here's the top end of the range here at 93. The bottom end of the current range here is at 86.40. Now that's the range to which we probably expect people to want to trade in, or expect the market to trade in. Then you know exactly where you're placed. Like if you're placed within the lower end of the range, then you could comfortably buy with a close stop. And that's the sort of strategy we've followed here with the Aussie at this particular time, where we're quite happy to go long at 87.80 knowing that the range we had was 93 through to 86, 85.70 actually, which was that low, and we're quite happy. We knew that our stop would go in at around this level. Now at the moment we've seen this first leg up. Now we're consolidation. This is a consolidating move for it, and we're still long, but we now know that we can move our stop loss up to just below that 88, because if it breaks through that, that's broken the range. So the important thing here in my mind when trading is to check the range. So we've got the range at the top, 80.93, and the lower end there is at 85.70. We're within that range. The new range, as we know now, is still that low, but we've had a high of 90.70 and a low back there at 85.70. But here, within that range, we want to see it break to the top side, and if we see it break through here, we will actually trade with it. So one of the key things about trading the currency is following the momentum, and momentum can be just a very simple formula like common lows or common highs. It could be following a stochastic, which we actually like. Stochastic is another momentum indicator, but there are quite a lot of indicators, but we've had most success just through chart recognition and the stochastic as the momentum. But loads of fun trying to put them together. The other key is to also look at the fundamental side. At the moment for the Aussie, we have a bias towards interest rate tightening, so that's certainly going to help the Aussie on any dips. So we feel that the dip will be well supported, and in this case you can see that it appears that, because every time we get to a low, we bounce off it. So from that perspective, I think that we can start to see it continue to trend a little bit higher. So that's the Aussie, but the Aussie is just not one of the currencies. You can trade quite a few of them. One of the ones is the euro, and as you can see, the euro there on a daily basis trying to form a little bit of a bottom. This is in fact a trade which looks quite good, because through chart recognition and a momentum, at the moment we can suggest that that euro was trying to find a base. Obviously the volatility here is certainly solid. Momentum is trying to pick up, but it's got a positive bias towards momentum, and we've got a low, we've got an entry level, an exit level if we need to. If the market were to break below this level here down through that low of 134.50, then we're wrong. So at the moment we're looking for a range. That's the high, 150.5. That's the low, 135. Or 134.70. So if we have in fact got a low, we should see a break pretty soon, but at the moment we're just going sideways. Not yet ready to buy, but certainly something we're getting very close to. But then again, when you look at the currencies, just look at also some of the volatility, because that's where some of the opportunity comes. And we've just been talking about the pound, and you can see that volatility in the pound just there. The fundamental news followed by technical news, and that pound certainly under a lot of pressure. As you can see there, it dropped from a high of 151.40 down to a low of 147.79 in the space of 2 hours. Now that's a sudden move. Obviously with leverage you can make good money on it, but if you're long you'll also lose money quite quickly. So the message with the currencies there is that they can move for you, but they can also move against you. So I guess in a nutshell, when trading currencies, it is loads of fun. On the Falcon Trader there's lots of things to get you up and ready, lots of educational things that you can look at, and also a demo account which you can download and trade. But with the currencies, I would tend to always find a fundamental reason for the direction, look at the technical side of it, and technically look for that range and where you are in that range, and also know where you should not be in the market, i.e. either have that stop in the market or know if the market breaks through your level that you're out. So that's about it on the currencies. I hope you have a lot of fun trading, and as I said, have a download the demo or give us a call, 1300 660 734. That's 1300 660 734, and have a chat. Bye now.